Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Bunduk, the host of the Dukesday Podcast. I wanted to make sure I come in and give the proper introduction for episode 1, which was originally released back in 2019 when I first came up with the idea for the Dukesday Podcast. This episode is entitled The Struggle of Being Independent. I really been thinking about the struggle of being an independent artist, an independent creator, an independent entrepreneur, and things is not that easy. You know, I know a lot of people make it seem easy online. Like, you see all those people flexing, they got this, that, and the third, but the thing about it, they're only showing their highlights. People aren't really showing their lowlights when it comes to things like that. So I want to talk about those types of struggles, man, because I know for me personally, like, it really started when I was younger and when I first invested into all my own equipment. That's when I really decided to go 100% all into it. This was about 7 years ago. So being able to invest in yourself, that's one of the biggest things right there. Because if you're not investing in yourself, then nothing will start moving forward. You know, you got to be able to put your own money up. You got to be able to get behind your own mission. You got to be able to stay focused and just be consistent with your grind. And, you know, that's the type of thing I want to start doing a lot more, which is, you know, starting up these types of podcasts where I kind of share my perspective, because I know it might be something that a lot of people can learn from. Today, you know, this is my first time kicking it off. We're starting off the podcast. So this is literally the intro to the Dukesday Podcast of what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about a lot of different things, everything from coming up as an artist to reaching out and networking and even marketing and promotions, because that's a huge part of being able to get yourself and your brand in front of a lot of people. And that's the main thing, is being able to get in front of as many people as you can. And if you're not really trying to do that, if that's not something that's top of your priority, then you're slipping. You need to be pushing your information, pushing your business, pushing your music, your art, whatever it might be. You got to be able to be ready to push it at 100%, 110%, because there's people out there already putting in 100% that have already been doing it. So if you just now getting on it, it's almost like a catch-up game. I know with music, there's like 40,000 songs that are being dropped every day, and that's something that is huge, you know. So you know the market is being flooded, and some people might even say that it's oversaturated. So now you got to think of, how are you going to stand out? How are you going to be able to make your brand stand out compared to everybody else? Not everybody's going to be able to latch on, become a fan of whatever it is that you're pushing. You know, in this perspective, it's mainly about music. So it's about that music. I'm pushing music myself, and what I've begun to realize is it's really about all those incremental investments and all the mentality of being able to take yourself out of that artist mode, because that's one thing that I realized I used to get stuck in a lot. I used to get stuck in artist mode. I gotta create, I gotta make new music, I gotta get better at rapping, I gotta get better at working out my vocals, I got to get better at just performing. You know, all of those aspects are important for sure, 100%. All of that is important, but it ties back into how many people are going to have that opportunity to see your performance, to see your art, to see what you have created. That's why I want to get into a lot of marketing and promotions and really figuring out things like the Instagram algorithms, Facebook marketing, even Twitter, TikTok, being able to get on all of these platforms, especially when they're brand new. And when there's a new social media outlet, those early creators who are on it, those are the people who end up getting the biggest exposure. So It's just that those people who are on it way early and really blowing up, those are the people who kind of garnered the most attention. And these days, attention is everything. Attention is almost like the new currency, you know. The more eyes you got on you, the more people are going to approach you, the more networking opportunities you end up having in the future. And that is really how you grow as an artist, as an individual. I had the opportunity to really dive into it when, as far as brand building, building a brand, you gotta really be able to focus on how you can attach your personal story to that brand. And I have been able to do that for myself recently, and I got a lot of stuff brewing up. Me and my team are putting together a couple little documentaries, a couple interviews, so that people can see exactly who I am, get a better understanding for myself as an artist, as a creator, because that's what people are falling in love with. People aren't falling in love. Well, people are falling in love with the music, but in addition to the music, people are falling in love with the artist, their personality, their demeanor, how they carry themselves, the entertainment factor of being personal and just having that type of connection with them. So the whole goal is to let people see a personality, see exactly who you are as a person and what it's all about. And, you know, so I'm just trying to give out as much value to people as possible. And there's so many different ways to bring value to the table. You know, it doesn't just have to be rapping. For me, I realize it doesn't just have to be dropping all these little freestyles on my YouTube, on my Instagram, on my Facebook. It's just that it doesn't have to stop there. I can do stuff like I'm doing right now with the podcast and start capturing the audience from a whole different perspective.
I thank God I got some food on my plate, thank God. I got some money in the bank, thank God. My whole family's